on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend, although let's be honest, how did you not have a wonderful week with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies? Bitcoin up over 20% in 2 days. You can see we got all the way up to almost $9,500. Currently, we have had a bit of a cool-off period. We are going sideways, but I want to talk about a few things. Number one being the fact that the halving is coming up in 10 days, and not only that, but during this crazy price action that we saw, we actually had record-breaking stablecoin withdrawals, meaning that people were cashing out, making tons of profits in Tether, and yet we still have the price movement up as high as it is right now. Also, we did it, guys. We closed out April's monthly candle on a beautiful green candle. We're going to get into about what that means in a little bit. There actually is a little bit of a tricky situation to this candle. We are going to get into that, but I do want to talk about the fact that we've seen asset managers absolutely bullish on Bitcoin. I'm going to prove to you that there is institutional demand as well as retail demand. And check this out, Andreesen Horrowitz, crypto fund number 2. These guys are looking to allocate $515 million into blockchain and crypto products. If this doesn't get you excited, I have even more news. You're going to want to stick around all the way to the end of this video. It comes from Samsung, and basically we have things coming out on the dApp store, or they're going to have dApps on their store, as well as crypto payment integration. Yes, all of that coming out today. Man, what a day to be into cryptocurrencies. If you guys are excited as I am, smash the likes, guys. Now look, I'm not saying that the price is going to go to the moon right away. We are going to get into the price action, okay? There actually is something a little bit concerning I want to get into, but for the most part, guys, it's looking relatively good. So let's dive in without further ado, and let's have a look at this chart. So you can see, essentially, we got to the end of this wedge, and boom, Bitcoin had a massive breakout. Even just from the bottom all the way to the top, we got up about 22%. We have pulled back a little bit right now, still up 13.5%, still outperforming basically all traditional stocks. You can see, actually, the S&P 500 fell 2% during Bitcoin's 23% rally. So I don't want to hear that Bitcoin is correlated to stocks. You can see right here, this is Bitcoin, the orange line, versus the stock market, the blue line. So yeah, basically you can let me know how you feel about that correlation. But essentially, we did, in fact, close the CME futures gap all the way up at $9,060. So yeah, actually, I think I could just get rid of that for now. Now, I do want to point out the fact that we are having a little bit of resistance right here. This is over on CME futures. You'll notice right here, there was a lot of support. So obviously, where you have support, you know, becoming that previous resistance, you do want to get back above these levels. I think I said that backwards, but you know what I mean. Also, we did have a monthly green candle. This is awesome. We've had 2 months of red, right? February, March, April, massive green candle. I don't even want to tell you how high we are from the bottom to where we are right now. If you happen to buy the bottom of this wick, wow, Bitcoin up almost 130%. Now, craziest thing is during Bitcoin's $1,700 single daily move, we actually saw data from Glassnode showing that USDT withdrawals also reached an all-time high of almost $2 million shortly after the top, and yet Bitcoin price continued to still go upwards. You can see right here, we are well above the 21 exponential I circled yesterday. First time we got above that back in April, boom, we had a massive blast off. We are back above it again. However, we are being held down by this previous resistance. You can see right here, we got held down here, and currently we have not gotten above that. So don't be getting too excited. We are still in a downtrend, guys. It doesn't mean that this price action is over. You can see right here, we are in the center of the central setup, but we are still between these two parallel purple lines, which essentially does represent the sort of movement that Bitcoin's been putting in. We really haven't been able to break out of this channel. So I still do want to see Bitcoin break above that $9,500 level. And then if we can get past the 10,300, that would be amazing. We would be putting in some higher highs, which would be great for Bitcoin short term. Actually, here's another way you could see it right here. We basically have this support up right here coming down with this resistance, and we're having a very critical level right here. So you can actually see that the week essentially of April 27th being, well, the first week on this starts May 4th, but this is a very critical week for Bitcoin. So even though it looks great on the monthly, this current weekly candle is really going to let us know what the price action is going to do moving forward. And basically by June 8th, we're going to have our answer. So I'll let you guys know. Now, listen, I do have to get into a little bit of potentially bad news before we get into all the crazy bullish news, okay? Because I do like to keep this pretty pretty open, pretty objective. So essentially right here, I just want to point out, and this is from Crypto Hamster over on Twitter, he talks about Bulkovsky's charts, and he talks about a bullish engulfing candle, which is essentially a green candle that's taller than the prior red candle. So that is the monthly candle that we have put in. But you can see right here, he says that the candlestick pattern 63% of the time shows that it closes above the top, but the bad news is that it has a very overall low ranking in the Bulkovsky book. In fact, it's number 84 out of 100, which unfortunately means we shouldn't be getting too excited. Okay. Now, Bitcoin is the honey badger. Not that Bitcoin's going to follow exactly what the chart says, but according to the texts, it literally says, quote, bullish engulfing candlesticks act as a temporary reversal of the downward price trend. This is also one of the trading setups that I suggest that you avoid. Why? Because the primary trend is downward. The bullish engulfing candlestick reverses that trend, but only for a short period of time. The primary downward trend takes over and price resumes falling. Now, you might be saying, well, who cares? This is from traditional markets. Well, we actually had a very similar candle right back here during the bear market from June into July. You can actually see that we had this green candle right here for July, where we basically went all the way up, right? So we had a low back in June of around 5,700. And then the next month we pumped all the way up to $8,500, only then to continue our downtrend. Okay. So the question is, are we going to have something very similar to what we had back here happening right here, where then the next candle is a red followed by, well, they had 6 red candles. So then are we looking to essentially continue the trend downwards? I just want to point that out. I'm not saying we should all get bearish and sell all our Bitcoin, although taking profits, that's totally up to you. I just wanted to point out that that is a possibility moving forward. However, short term, if you want to look on the bright side, we are well above the 200 daily moving average, which textbook is really a good indicator of whether or not you are in a bullish or a bearish situation. Now, if you guys had an opportunity to check out my video last night, I actually finally got a video out for Phemex tutorial because you guys have been asking about my opinions on Phemex. They actually offer a lot of other pairs. If you're into altcoins, they do offer Chainlink, they offer Tezos, Litecoin, and they actually have a gold market now as well. So if you guys want to check out the video, that is popping up above. I do have a tutorial below, and they actually have an exclusive offer just for Crypto Zombie subscribers. If you guys do use the link below, the normal reward is 72 bonus, and if you use my link, you can get up to $150, right? Speaking of altcoins, actually, while we're on the topic, Bitcoin did get rejected right here on the dominance chart at around the 66.5% level. You could see right here. So what does that mean? Well, if Bitcoin can actually break above this, that means that you're probably going to want to sit in Bitcoin. However, if Bitcoin starts to actually pull back and go down the other way, maybe starting to follow this trend right here, then we're actually going to see altcoins pumping, which means you're going to want to short term probably be in the altcoin. So obviously, if you're over here, you can long or short altcoins as well. You could do it on Bybit, but there's a few more options over here on Phemex moving forward. Now, time for the bullish news of the day. Number one, we're going to start off with a new report from asset manager Greyscale. This is one of 2 reports. The first one is being that they've actually said that Bitcoin is now investors' best bet against central bank money printing. So they say Bitcoin, the largest cryptocurrency, is an ideal safe haven, its technical prowess setting aside from gold, fiat, and government bonds. And here's 2 quotes from their letter. Essentially, they say fiat currencies are at a risk of debasement. Government bonds reflect low or negative real yields, and delivery issues highlight gold's antiquated role as a safe haven asset. There are limited options to hedge in an environment categorized by uncertainty. And then this paragraph right here, they say, and while the world is seemingly challenged every notion of what is possible, it's time to challenge another one, that fiat currencies will retain their value. It is time to pay attention to Bitcoin. Now, Here is proof of retail investors accumulating. You can see right here from Glassnode that the all-time high has been broken for new Bitcoin addresses. You can see the previous was observed on April 29th. We now have over 30,092,000 addresses. And if you just think that these are people sending crypto to their ledgers that have already been in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, I just want to point out this tweet from Alexander Leishman. Now, he's over at River Financial. He says, I speak with many of our clients, whether they are buying just a few $1,000s worth of Bitcoin to millions of dollars worth. There is one common theme in recent weeks. People are accumulating Bitcoin to escape the Fed's money printer. And someone actually down here asks, not sure how much you can talk about it, but would be super interesting to hear if many of them are hardcore or just normal people looking for a hedge, to which he replied, the vast majority are very normal people. Bullish. Okay, so this is showing you that we have institutions looking to accumulate, we have retail looking to accumulate. I'm going to get into some of the other bullish news in a bit, but I wanted to point out, getting back to our buddies over at Greyscale, this actually kind of blew my mind. Greyscale Investments has purchased nearly 50% of all of the Ethereum, or all of the Ether, that has come out in 2020. I want you guys to really think about that number. They outline the increased interest from institutional investors, okay, as well as the fact that we do have Ethereum 2.0 coming up, which has a lot of people excited because they're looking to be able to basically stake their Ethereum, right, which is a lot easier for them than proof of work. You just put it in a wallet, get a dividend, right? It's very similar to what you would do in traditional stocks. So essentially, you can see right here that with Ethereum at 0.09 ETH per share, that makes 756,000 plus Ethereum bought in the same period. Having in mind all numbers from the above, it means that Greyscale has purchased around 48.4% of all of the mined Ethereum in 2020. Look at this chart. I mean, how could anyone sit here and say that people aren't excited about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies? This is Ethereum right here. I mean, look at that chart. It is a little worrisome to think that they're accumulating 50%, but at the same time, that does show you that there is a lot of demand out there. We also have Andreesen Horrowitz looking to actually have their $515 million fund that's going to be used in crypto investment networks and businesses. Basically, this is what they said to investors. They said investments made in internet technologies over the last several decades have given rise to products and services used every day by billions of people, including messaging, video conferencing, e-commerce, and everything in between. We think it's important to keep investing in long-term developments to the internet to address the needs of the coming decade. So they talk about next generation payments. Basically, they talk about how, like, when you use things like PayPal or Venmo, it's just a digital IOU. But when you use actual blockchain products, like you just send Bitcoin, that is the actual physical asset. If I send you Bitcoin, there's no middleman, you get the Bitcoin, right? So they basically talk about how cryptocurrencies act as cash. They go into decentralized finance, okay, which we've seen a lot of people excited with Ethereum for. They also go into Web3. And in other news, Swipe Visa holders can now make payments with their crypto using Samsung Pay on their smartphones or smartwatch. Come on, guys. Is this not like showing you that the tide is finally turning? You can see that the firm claims to have been the first digital wallet provider to provide multiple national support for both Google Pay and Samsung Pay. So basically, this integration allows Swipe card holders in the UK and European Union to make payments from their crypto balance at over 50 million locations globally. And if that's not enough to get you bullish, whether or not you agree with Tron or you like Tron, I know there's been a lot of controversy over the past year with these guys, especially with the recent, Hive and Steemit situation. But check this out. So owners of Samsung smartphones in specific countries will see Tron dApps in an alternative app store. The Samsung store will feature applications like Blockchain Cuties, Super Player, Meerkat Mining, and Time Loop, which literally means that you're now going to have blockchain dApps accessible to everyone over at the Samsung store. So regardless about your opinions on Tron, think about the exposure that that'll bring for cryptocurrency, right? Out of sight, out of mind. Good news, bad news, guys, as long as it is staying in the public's mind. And now they're going to be able to literally download these dApps and play on them. And the cool thing is that they're actually, I thought at first they said they were going to be in, select areas. I thought it wasn't going to be the US. No, they're saying it will be available on Samsung devices in the US, Canada, South Korea, Australia, the Philippines, Singapore, and some other countries as well. So I think this is really good news, guys. They do mention down here, and I do know this for a fact, that Tron has been dominated by gambling dApps, essentially. So I mean, obviously that's going to be a problem. You don't want, I'm sure they're not going to be cool with a lot of gambling dApps, but some of these games up here, that they mentioned, like Super, Player, Meerkat, Mining, Time Loop, Blockchain Cuties. I mean, I haven't tried any of those games, but I mean, how, games are on phones. So I think this is very bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. Oh, and one more bit of bullish news, guys. Tencent, you might be familiar with them, the operators of Chinese social media, WeChat, okay? Basically, they are launching their own blockchain accelerator as well. So right here, it says, what does it offer? Well, it will focus on a variety of recruitment areas, including industrial blockchain solutions and blockchain applications for data sharing, supply chain financing, and digital asset transactions. And I'm done with the bullish news, guys. How are you not bullish? This is crazy. Even if Bitcoin's price does pull back, it's just an opportunity to accumulate Bitcoin at cheaper levels. And it's not even really pulling back right now. It's just kind of hanging out. So I don't know, guys. For me, if Bitcoin does continue to have a little bit of a pullback, I'm going to be scooping it up. I'm going to be accumulating, and DCA all day, man. Dollar cost average. But I actually do have some more news. Wow, that's actually not all the news. So yesterday was CoinMarketCap's 7th birthday, and they did put out this roast CMC hashtag. Some of them are pretty rough, guys. I'm not going to lie. Some of them are pretty crazy. CZ did jokingly say CoinMarketCap should have removed all scam projects as deemed by anyone on crypto Twitter, including Bitcoin, because Peter Schiff doesn't like it. Man, Peter Schiff, he's got to be like, think about it. He was talking about how, gold is outperforming Bitcoin. Yeah, well, look at that. In just 2 days, look what Bitcoin can do. And I wouldn't want to bet against this chart right here, guys. So you do what you want. That's on you. If you're bearish on Bitcoin long term, not really sure what you're doing watching this channel, but that's essentially it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. Once again, if you want to check out my Phemex tutorial I did yesterday, you can trade all different kinds of altcoins that they don't have on Bybit, for example. You could do Chainlink, you could do Tezos, and you can also do gold. So I will drop that in the description, but that is it for me today. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. If you guys want to join my free Telegram group, I do have a link above. I'll drop it below as well. Totally free, hang out, talk crypto all day. We just kind of hang out and just have a good time. That's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much. You guys rock. You're the reason that I do this every single day. Until next time, my name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Stay crypto. And of course, peace out.